Hi, friends. How far are you going with the Valentine? How much is your preparation about Valentine? Because an unprepared journey is not safe. And the preparation starts from the mind, and the body will not join up. The problem of life is that when anything starts with the body drags down the mind. By that, I mean, when you prepare for Valentine, you have a good result. Now, it reminds me of a situation at the University of Lagos while I was at the final year. A student came from another campus, from another university, to meet his friend on the campus at Akoka. And then he was telling his friends that he wanted to commit suicide. And we tried to find out what was the problem. He said he, from a very low background, from a poor family, had an affair during Valentine with a secondary school student from a very rich, influential family. And as a result of that affair, the young lady became pregnant. This first-class potential will no longer have first class. He was then taken from one cell to the other, police cells to the other. And finally, he missed some lectures. He could no longer make first class. And finally, he saw hair out of that Valentine experience. That's simply because they never planned for pregnancy. An unplanned journey, like I pointed out, is unsafe. Every pilot planned their journey, I repeat, ahead of time. They can even tell you what will happen in the destination, the turbulence on the way, and everything. That is because the journey is well planned. No pilot is permitted to leave a site without proper preparation. So it is very important you engage your mind. By that I mean, if peradventure you are looking forward to marry a lady, there's nothing wrong in taking the lady out to discuss how your future will be, what is the goal of the lady, what are you going to add to her life, what is she going to add to your life, and then when you make that a priority, you will have time to discuss reasonable things and not just lock yourself inside doing things that you never planned for that may result into unwanted pregnancy. It is important for me to mention at this time that two polytechnic students, male and female, locked themselves up during Valentine. At the end of the day, the male died on top of the lady, and the lady was taken to the hospital. That is because the journey was not prepared. And Anthony was 60 years old, had an affair in one African country with a teenager, and the teenager, in an attempt to please himself, he never knew that the teenager that was a sex worker cannot be satisfied, because if somebody has satisfied her, he would not have needed the attorney. But to cut the long story short, the attorney, 60-year-old man, died on top of this teenage girl. The problem is simply any journey not prepared for end up in disaster. So during Valentine, it involves your emotion, it involves your finances, it involves your destiny, it involves how far you can go in life. So you can't afford to just treat it carelessly. And to the married people, this is the time for the husband to treat his wife the way some people treat their side chick. It's a time that the wife should have absolute respect for the husband, and the husband will love his wife. And it is very important to point out that during Valentine is the time where you know the quality of the person you want to marry, and then how you are going to go about it. The plans is not a time to lock yourself indoor. You can go to the zoo, you can go to amusement park, you can go to several other places that will make the Valentine result oriented. Have a goal and then plan towards the goal and make sure that you are able to achieve much during this time in order to make your life beautiful. Valentine is not intended to make life go down. It's intended to make life beautiful. Now, let your mind lead. Let the body follow. Because the sexual organ between our thighs are not actually born again. And if we allow it to lead us, it will lead many people into disaster. So the earlier, the better. You make up your mind, number one, to plan the journey. Number two, to make it an eventful day. Number three, to make the best out of the day. Number four, to make your day a day that you will never forget. And this does not have anything to do with illicit sex with dozens of ladies. That's not actually going to bring something good. It was Einstein who said, a planned life earns greater results, but an unplanned life ends in disaster. I plead with you today to sit down, plan your Valentine, have a good time, and then for Valentine to produce a peaceful time, to produce a painless time, it needs to be properly planned. And to those who are married, have the best of time with your wife or husband. Valentine is a time to add value to your life. It's also a time to add value to the person you want to marry. Move out, enjoy fresh air, live life to the best. But remember, every action has consequence. When you engage in illicit free sex, the consequence is pregnancy. And at the end of the day, it brings regret. His Valentine shall not be a time of regret. Rather, it's going to be a time of fun, a time of joy, a time of peace, a time of good report. Thank you for listening to me. I'm your brother,